Okay, friends, I am back with part 2 of your practice book. I'm starting on page 315. Oh, where are my names? Let's see here. Alexis. And again, we are adding the area of non-rectangular shapes. Love this. So Alexis made this shape with 1-inch tiles. She asked her students to find the area. 2 students shared their work. So Victoria chose to count the squares. Wonderful strategy, Victoria. Did I say Victoria? Valentina. Goodness. Okay. And then Nora's way. Hi, Nora. She chose to break apart the shapes. And she counted 10 square inches plus 3 square inches. Either way, they both found the answer. So Valentina broke the shape into 2 rectangles, outline 2 rectangles to show Nora's way. Okay, so if you take this shape, I'm not sure if they want us to do it. I'm guessing they want us to do it here. I did it up there, but there is 1 rectangle. Now I have 2. So the big thing here is you can't find the area of a non-rectangular shape without making a rectangle. You've got to, the standard way. You can't do length times width. But now you can, because we split it. Write the multiplication sentence to show the area of each rectangle you drew in problem 1. So we have the length, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across, and the width of this one is 2. 5 times 2, 5 times 2 is 10. Now let's find this one. It's got a length of 1, 2, 3, and just 1 square. 3 times 1. 3 times 1 is 3. Write an addition sentence, excuse me, to show the total area of the shape. So let's take that. 10 plus that little tiny one. 10 plus 3. What's that? 13. You got it. All right. Gosh, you can't see this very well, but again, I know I always say this, you should have your book in front of you. So you'll at least know the problem I am on. Until we find a better way to show you this, this is what we have. I can show you online, but then you can't see me write. So here we are. Okay, Millie broke the shape into 2 rectangles in a different way. Thinking outside the box there, Millie. What do you have for us? Outline 2 rectangles to show Millie's way. Then show how to find the total area. Well, let's see here. You could do this 2 different ways, friends. So my first instinct was to split it right there. There's 2 rectangles. Bam. But I'm wondering if anyone split it going this way. That's the same way. So if you did that, that's already been done. So this is the way I'd like you to split it, because Millie is doing it differently. But good for you if you did it the other way, because that's a way to find it. We're just looking for something new. Alrighty, well, let's find my length. 1, 2, 3. And it says then show how to find the total area. So I'm going to go ahead and put 3 times 1, 2, 3. Ooh, that looks like a perfect square to me. 3 times 3 equals 9 square. And did they say? Yes, inches. Inches. But I'm not done, am I? So now I've got 1, 2 times 1, 2. 2 times 2 equals 4 square inches. I am absolutely not done. So I'd like to show you the way you would set this up to write the equation correctly. It would be 3 times 3 in parentheses plus 2 times 2 equals, oops, equals, I was trying to do my equals 13 square units. Inches. Okay, 9 and 4 equal 13. So 9 plus 4 equals 13. Square inches. So we found the area of both shapes, and then we added them together. I love that there's just different ways that you can solve those problems. Oof, that is super blurry, isn't it? Really wish I could fix that. I don't know if that makes it any better or not, but moving on, my friendly friends. We just do the best we can, right? Shade the rectangle in this shape that is 5 inches long and 2 inches wide. What is the area of this rectangle? Okay, so they don't want us to find the total area yet. They wanted us to shade the rectangle that is 5 inches long and 2 inches wide. So 5 and 2. Don't get confused because it says 3 down here. That would be the total area of this. But this is 2. So we're going to shade it. And what is the area? Length times width. Whoops. And so I almost got confused. I saw that 3 there. Don't get confused. This right here is only 2. Okay, so length times width, 5 times 2 equals 10 square inches. And please remember to pause the video so you can do your own math. What is the area of the rectangle that is not shaded? Same thing, length times width. And this is where I love area. I know I'm going to take you a step further than the book does right now, but I know some of your math minds love these kinds of puzzles. So they told us that this is 1 inch. Sometimes they won't tell you, and you have to figure it out on your own. But you should know that if this whole thing is 3 inches, and this is 2 inches, what's left over? The whole thing is 3. This is 2. What's left over? 1. I like finding the missing numbers there. So same thing, length times width. 2 times 1 equals, what is the total area? So that's where we're going to take 10 plus 2 equals 12 square inches. Draw a line to break up A into 2 rectangles, then find the total area. So I'm going to draw my line here. Okay, and we're going to find the total area. So first, I'm going to find, so this whole shape is A, but now it's in 2 rectangles. I'm going to find the area of the bottom one first. If you remember, length times width. So 5 all the way across times width. Sorry, length times width. I said that incorrectly. So 2 times 5. We have the numbers right, and we know we can switch factors, but 5 2 times 10. Now let's find the area of this rectangle. So we've got the length, and it is labeled as 2, and we have the width, which is labeled as 3. So 2 times 3, 3 2 times. Good job. 6. 6 plus 10. 6 plus 10 equals 16 square. Did it tell us meters? Meters. Okay. Draw a line to break up B into 3 rectangles. Then find the total area. Okay, so you can't do it like this. This time we are going to draw there and there. How many do I have? 3. Thank you very much. Let's find the areas of all of those rectangles. This would be a good time to pause the video, test your skill, and check back. And I'm going to go ahead and go over the answers. Hopefully you paused it and found it out for yourself. I'm going to find the area of B first. Or excuse me, this whole shape is B, but the middle rectangle that says B on it. So don't be tricked. I hope you weren't tricked. It's easy peasy to get tricked on this one because the entire length here is 5 meters. Sneaky, sneaky. Our rectangle is not the entire length here. Our rectangle is simply 3 meters. So I'm going to take my length times width, which here is another very tricky part. So I'm wondering how you did with this. I know that from here, when these lines point like that, that means from here to here, it's 2 meters. But my rectangle goes all the way down. But look, if I look over on the side right there, what does it say? 2 meters. So that means that this whole thing, 2 meters and 2 meters, whoa, the whole thing is 4 meters. So I have a length of 4 meters there. You really have to look around on the shape. Now I'm going to take length times width. 4 times 3. 4, 8, 12. Okay, so I'm going to write 12 there. Write 12 there. And knowing that I'm going to add it together. Now once I find this one, I'll have the answer for this one because they are both the same. So let's find it. We've got a length of 2 and a width of 1. 2 times 1 equals 2. And it's the same here. 2 times 1 equals 2. So now I have 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 square meters. Moving on to number 10. Draw lines to show 2 different ways to break this shape into rectangles. Then find the total area. So 2 different ways. Take a moment if you need to pause and think. Pause and think. If you're ready to roll, you already did it. Let's see what you have. One way you could have broken this up was to make rectangle, 2 rectangles there and there. You could have also, instead of that, and that's not there, chosen to do your rectangle here and here. I don't want to be too confusing, so I'm just going to show you this. I'm going to shade my rectangle there. Okay, so let's find length times width for this one. 8 times 3. 8, 16, and You got it. 24 plus. And this is going to be tricky. So this is where you have to find the width. I know you can do it though. So it says this is 5 feet, but this is unknown. My width is unknown. How could I find it? What do I see here? What do I know? I know that this whole part is 8 feet. And I know that this, from here to here, is 3 feet. So 3 plus what equals 8? Or I could simply take 8 minus 3. Same thing. Figure that out. You got it. This is also 5 feet. Just like that one. So now I know that this, my width is 5. So I can take length, which is 3, multiply it by 5. 5, 10, 15. If you need to set this problem up, you can do it like this. 4 and 5. 9, 2 and 1, 3. 39 square feet. And very quickly, if you did it the other way, I'll pretend that this is my new one. 8 times 3, which is 24. And now I have 5 times 3, which is 15. Same area, same answer. Next page. You're almost done, I promise. See? That's 2 pages. You should be a pro at this by now, feeling stronger on your skills. Oh, Xavier drew this diagram of his duck and flower garden. Which number sentences give the total area? Circle the letter for all that apply. Let's go through, let's strike through some. First thing that we want to do is figure out, okay, 4 length times width. 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, and then we know that this is 4. So 4 times 2 is 8. So they said 4 and 4 plus, and 8 and 2. 8 times 2. So which number sentences give the total area? Okay, 4 plus 4. So this one is slightly confusing because it is giving you the correct numbers. It's just broken up very oddly. So I'm going to say this would give you the answer, the 8 and the 16. But that's a big maybe. You can find. Okay. This would give our total area though. Okay, that's a maybe. They had to make it confusing, didn't they? 2 plus 4 equals 6. Here. The total area, so sorry, I was just quickly doing the math. 6 plus 8 does equal 24. So again, this would give us the total area. This, however, would not. You've got 2 plus 4 equals 6, which doesn't really work for anything we have. And 6 times 4, I don't see where they got those numbers. Oh, well, nope. Oh, I suppose, because they added that together. But this should be 2 times 4. Or, excuse me, not at all. I'm goofing on this problem, you guys. So it would be 6 times 4, and that would be the total area. The 2 plus 4 equals 6 does not belong. You'll strike through. And then on C, 4 times 4 equals 16. Well, my length is 4, and the length of this box here, or this deck, excuse me, is 4. But we're forgetting the garden. That is a strike through. 2 times 4 equals 8. 4 times 4 equals 16. 16 plus 8 equals 24. In seeing this answer, I'm going to go ahead and strike through this because of the way they presented the equation. It does work out to the same answers, but it is not done the proper way. Okay, number 2. What is the area of this shape? Circle the letter of the correct answer. Oh goodness, you could count all of these, which you may have to, or you could break it up into several rectangles. I am going to find length times width for this large one, which is 3 times 4, which I know is 12. And then I'm going to count these. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 is correct. However, Daisy accidentally chose D. How did she get that answer? I have an idea, do you? Take a moment to figure it out. What could she have multiplied to get 24? She was thinking, she was remembering what her teacher makes her say over and over. That it just doesn't apply to this problem. So pause it if you need to figure it out. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's a width of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. So Daisy multiplied length times width equals area, but you can only do that when you have a perfect rectangle. If our rectangle went all the way up, you could absolutely do that. However, it does not. So Daisy multiplied length times width, but we'll say the shape is not a rectangle. And if you had anything close to that, we would count. And pause when you need to, if you need to write that. So again, Daisy multiplied length times width, but the shape is not a rectangle. Silly Daisy. Now you know. You would never make that mistake. You're so quick with your math these days. All right, what do we have here? The shaded squares in this diagram show Nora again. Oh, sorry, friends. That's Mrs. Malloy texting. And I'm going to see if I can turn my ringer off real quick. There we go. Sound off when I have a feeling we'll have more texts. Okay. I'm sure she'd say hi to you if she knew I was teaching you right now. The shaded squares in this diagram show Nora's plan for tiling a floor. Oh, yay, I get a new tiled floor. How many square feet of tile will she use? We are going to have to break this up into some separate rectangles. So take a moment now and try to break these up the best you can. Hopefully you broke them up. I'm going to break mine up right here and here. Find that total area. So I'm going to take the length times width. So 3 here, 8 here, 8, 16, and 24. what in the world could this be? How would I figure that out? Well, it looks like this. When you have the arrows pointing or lines pointing, that means this is 4 feet, this is 4 feet, this is 4 feet. So if I know that this is 4 feet, right here, from here to here, that's 4 feet, and the total across was 8 feet, what is left over? What plus 4 equals 8? Or 8 minus 4, subtract this part, and then you have what's left over. 8 minus 4 is 4. So this is going to be 4, and this is already labeled as 4. So I have length times width. Length times width. 4 times 4, 4, 8, 12, 16. 16. Okay, remember, sorry, I drew a little bit, so these are my 3 boxes. And then this looks exactly the same as the top one. 8 times 3, 24. Now I get to add all these together. You can do this. You can set it up just like this. Some of you have other strategies where you just know what 24 plus 24 is, or maybe you saw the 16 and added it to the 24 really easily because you know 4 and 6 make 10. That's what I'm going to do. You know, I like to make 10s. So 10 plus 4 equals 14. Leave my 1s, carry my 10s. 2, 4, 5, 6. 6. Nora is going to need 64 square feet of tile. That might be expensive. Will someone buy that for her, please? What is the area of this shape? Well, let's make it one that we can use. Let's find length times width of this. 8 times 5. Figure that out. 5 8 times. 8 5 times. I'm going to do 8s because I know you know how to count by 5s pretty well. 8, 16, and 24, 32, and 40. Bam. Then we have 3 times 2. 3 2 times. 40 plus 6. 46 square feet. Last one, my friends. You've made it. The diagram shows a tree house with a porch that... Wait, I want a tree house with a porch. Porter. Party at Porter's house. That Porter plans to build. What is the total area of the tree house and the porch? Let's find it, friends. Okay, you can do this 2 different ways. Let's do it. So first off, you could find the total area of these 2 rectangles and add them together, which we'll do. However, this is a rectangle. You could just find the total area and not have to add it together. Again, we'll do both. I know that 6 plus 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this has a total of 9 feet long and 6 wide. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 54. Let's do it this way though. Sometimes when we have bigger numbers, it makes it harder for us and it's not as easy to figure out. So us doing it in parts might be helpful. So I've got this as a length of 6 and I know this is 6 because it's the same as the bottom. Okay, I'm going to scratch out my 9 there. So 6 times 6. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. So I've got 36. And then I've got 6 and 3. So length times width. 3 times 6. 6, 12, 18. Okay, and then I can set that up. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 3 and 1 is 4 plus 1 more, 54. And you did it! hopefully. I hope they give us more. So what we will be moving on to is connecting area and perimeter. That is lesson 30, and we will be doing that next week. Until then, I'll show you all later too. I'll make another video. But the very back of your book, I know I mentioned it. These are, so when I say fluency practice, doing a page of these. Do them all until they're done. So 15 minutes fluency practice a day. Set your timer. You can do this. I think you're probably doing awesome. Let me know if you have any questions. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.